So welcome to Batibot Daycare Center. So this daycare has 18 preschoolers with 3 to 5 years of age. In this daycare, their voices matter, their choices matter. So it offers lifelong learning that manifests their self-confidence, resilient, kind, and happy kids as they grow. This is the entrance door. So this daycare is divided into 4 zones. The entry zone, the quiet zone, active zone, and messy zone. Welcome to our entry zone. We provided a spacious area so that the wheelchairs could maneuver here. It has a very comforting ambience for every child and parent. So this area for pick-up and drop-off times are accessible to kids and their parents. These are our cabbies. Each cabbie has a name on it. This will help children to develop a sense of belonging and ownership. This is our welcome sign with a different language design to recognize families and children from other cultures. We have a couch and a bench for the family. So it gives a cozy ambience and offers a comfortable space for the family to sit while waiting for the child to settle in, especially during transition time. It's a designated accessible space for important information and updates for the parents about daycare activities to ensure the families are updated and well informed. So we also have a space here for pictures of kids activities, our childcare license, staff information, and childcare certifications. So we also have poster here for multicultural inclusivity. It's the quiet zone. So the quiet zone is divided into learning centers. The math center, manipulatives, and the writing center, the retreat center, and the reading corner. The Math Center has various toys that stimulate children's interest in mathematical concept and exploration. The Manipulative Center space has open-ended materials that stimulate and encourage children to explore, solve problems, and develop new ideas through imagination. So a reading space where kids may look through and explore the books in a calm setting, complete with a comfortable carpet and throw cushion. The ambience in this area is cozy and conducive to rest. A charming touch is added by the elegant TV tent with fairy lights, which promotes imaginative play and quiet play. This zone also serves as a retreat area for the kids who need to rest, calm down, and reprocess their emotions whenever they feel overwhelmed and upset or angry. This is the active zone. So the active zone is a designated space where children can engage in physical activities. So I divided this space into 3. The black centers, this is the building block centers, the music and movement center, the dramatic play area. This space is for the circle time area. The blocks area has provided different textures, sizes of blocks, and also loose parts. We have loose parts here. This center stimulates children from problem-solving skills, self-efficacy, and encourage them to build and construct their own design. allowing them to feel the sense of accomplishment. So we have the dramatic area here. This include dress-up materials, kitchen toys, and a doctor's clinic. These toys here could change. It depends on the children's interest. So in addition, dramatic play also important to nurture and spark children's interest to engage them in deep learning through play. So it promotes children collaboration with peers, creativity, and language skills as well, playing nicely together. Here is the music center. We have musical toys, ribbon, music and movement play, encourage children's self-expression, rhythm, and coordination. We also have our couch here, carpet for our circle time, and big group movement. So furnitures here are multi-purpose and movable. This is the messy zone. So we have 2 convertible tables here for snacks and lunch time. So we can also use this table for arts and crafts, painting, science experiments, and baking too. We have a sensory table here that can be used for different kinds of brains and sensory explorations. It also convertible as a water table or a sand table. These are our shelves for our arts and crafts. We also have stacks of loose parts here for them to incorporate on their art. We posted their artworks here to let them feel that they belong and valued. We also have here their pictures saying different languages of hello. We have also our class birthdays with pictures saying and we also put our daily routine here. This will help the children how to expect throughout the day and give them a sense of control. This is our kitchen for food preparation, sink to wash their hands, and a sturdy stool to those children who can't reach the sink. Fridge to put their lunch bags. We put also our first aid kit here, child EpiPens, and the list of allergies. The messy zone is a space for the children to give them opportunities to play and explore messy materials. This zone has various sensory materials such as paint, sand, water, loose parts from different seasons. So this space is good opportunity for preschool children to explore and develop their talent through painting, make their creations from Play-Doh, use their imaginative minds to make something new. It also beneficial for children going to kindergarten because it will help develop their fine motor skills, which are essential in grasping the pencil. So I put the messy zone near the kitchen so that the children can wash their hands conveniently. This is our staff space, comfortable space for our staff while on their breaks, while having their lunch, a space to collaborate with each other. We have tables and chairs here. We also have wall decorations about multicultural inclusivity. We have our toy storage, the cat storage, and storage for the supplies, for toiletries, and other materials. So this storage is for the teacher's note, and they can put also their files here. And this is also storage for office supplies and others. And this is our washroom. Our washroom has a big opening door so that the children with the wheelchair can accommodate here. So we have 3 washroom and 3 sinks. So we have our garbage bin. So this is and then this is our exit door, play area. Our outdoor area, our play area. So it has 2 gates that are always closed to ensure our children's safety. So the dimension of the outdoor space is 12 meters by 9 meters. The total area, this space is 108 square meters. So I have 16 preschoolers in my daycare. So I think the space is enough for them to use the outdoor environments because the minimum area for them is 89.6 square meters. So 5.6 meters for each child based on the license capacity of the daycare. I created the outdoor environment by carefully taking consideration of the area for every zone. So a playground for climbing structure like this one, circulation paths, those blocks, a spot for quiet space like this one, and an area to enjoy nature like this one. If the spaces is necessary, that's why I carefully chose the space for designated areas. I created the area to provide structure and an engaging outdoor space for preschool. So the educator handles engaging children in outdoor activities as part of their daily activities. It is designed to stimulate their physical, cognitive, and sensory and social emotional development. It has areas with age-appropriate equipment where the children will be offered countless opportunities to scaffold their development. There is a space for dramatic plays with open-ended materials like this one. A small pond. This one is the pond. Small pond and a sand pit for exploration. Sensory and imaginative play. Treehouse to support gross motor skills, problem-solving skills, and risk-taking. Music wall using loose parts. Music wall that encourages musical expression, peer interaction, and creativity. A circulation space for bikes and scooters. Big lug for climbing up that will develop gross motor skills, balance, and coordination. As preschool children's developmental milestones are rapidly increasing, their needs and interests are more complex than toddlers and infants. They show more complexity and imaginative play. So their physical characteristics are rapidly growing, so they need more activities to support their needs. Children at this age need more complex equipment, more challenges, and various choices of activities that cater to their physical activities, natural curiosity, and promote social emotional development. That's why I provided a tree house, big log, monkey bar, space for hopscotch, an area where they can circulate their bikes and scooters. So it will support their gross motor skills like balancing, climbing, spatial awareness, balance, and coordination. So for their cognitive development, I provided sandpit. This is our mud kitchen, music wall, to foster their creativity, imaginative play, language, problem-solving skills, scientific inquiries, and sound and music theory. For their social development, I provided a quiet space, to get away from noise and to recompose the child's emotion whenever she feels overwhelmed, and to relax and unwind. So you have here our sink to wash their hands, and storage, toy storage, like the scooters, balls, and other materials. So during inclement weather, especially the winter season, there are lots of activities that we can do during the winter season. So we can incorporate learning centers through winter theme plans, pretend play using Arctic animals here, play like the igloo, shoveling the snow, making a skating rink on this area, in the circulation area, sledding. So we can also make snow candies here. That is very enjoyable too. So to further enhance our approach, it is essential to provide clear guidelines on how we will ensure effective supervision during transitions between zones, particularly during colder weather. This includes outlining the strategies for maintaining visibility, so the other teacher could stay here, the other teacher could stay here, and the other teacher could stay in this side. So maintaining visibility. So communication protocols among staff and any adjustment to supervisions, routines, and address the challenges. So this diorama serves as visual representation. Oh, tanggal mo na. Okay, so this is it. This is my outdoor play area. Thank you.